Welcome to What the Tech, where we cut through all the hype to bring you the analysis that actually matters.
Okay, let's just dive right into it. The headlines are screaming, politicians are pointing fingers, and the job market seems to be in a total panic. You're hearing a lot of stuff like this, but what is really going on behind the scenes?
So let's forget the slogans for a second. Let's look at the hard data that's actually driving all this panic. First up, this number, 153,000. That's the number of job cuts that were announced in October alone. And get this, that is the highest number for an October in 22 years. And yeah, it gets worse. When you zoom out, the total for 2025 has already rocketed past 1.1 million announced cuts. So this isn't just some small dip. It's a big, flashing red light signaling some serious turbulence. So what are the experts calling this? Well, they're calling it a recession-like level. We are talking about numbers that are comparable to the dot-com bust, the 2008 financial crisis, and even the start of the pandemic. This is not just a simple course correction, folks. This is a sign that something fundamental is shifting under our feet. And of course, when the numbers get this scary, what happens? The political blame game goes into overdrive. It's loud, it's totally predictable, and honestly, it just gets in the way of finding real solutions.
And here is the real problem with that. All this political theater, it's designed to distract you. It drowns out the actual signals that you, your boss, and your company need to be paying attention to if you want to, survive this. So on one side, you hear this kind of thing. The narrative is simple, right? It's one person's fault. It's a clean, easy story that's basically tailor-made for social media outrage.
You see how this works? It takes a really complex economic problem and turns it into a simple weapon for your political tribe. Of course, the other side does the exact same thing, just blaming different people and different policies. It rallies the base, gets the clicks, but it doesn't get us any closer to the truth.
And that's really the crucial point here. A chant is not a diagnosis. So, if we want to figure this out, we need to find the real diagnosis.
So if it's not just one person's fault, what is it? Well, the truth is, there's no single villain in this story. What we're actually looking at is a perfect storm of economic forces that are all converging at the exact same time.
Now, look at this. On the one hand, you have the convenient scapegoat, AI. Everyone wants to point the finger and say, AI is killing jobs. And look, it's definitely accelerating the cuts, no question. But the hidden catalysts, that's the real story. We're talking about a massive correction after that wild post-pandemic hiring boom, major cost shocks squeezing profits, and on top of all that, both consumers and corporations are just spending less money.
So you really have to understand that there are two things happening at once here. First, a cyclical correction. That's kind of the predictable hangover after the huge hiring party we've had. But the second one is way more important, a structural reset. The entire economic engine is being retooled, and that's being sped up by new technology and new cost structures. If you're only planning for one of these, you're going to be left exposed.
So what does this all mean for you? We're about to get into that. But first, if you appreciate this kind of no BS analysis, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the What the Tech channel. It really helps us out. Okay, let's get into the survival guide.
All right, for the executives watching, it's time to get real. First, audit your revenue quality. That means you cut where automation can improve your margins, but you protect the roles that keep your customers from churning. Second, instrument your AI with actual governance. No more vague transformation claims. Deploy it where you can measure it and control it. Third, hedge your supply and price risk. Renegotiate with your vendors, diversify your suppliers. Margin resilience beats headcount theatrics every time. And finally, communicate with specificity. The market rewards clarity, not buzzwords.
And for everyone else on the front lines, here's how you survive. It is all about becoming indispensable. 1. Start talking about outcomes, not tasks. Build a portfolio that directly ties your work to revenue, to cost savings, or to risk reduction. 2. Own the data layer. Skills in data provenance, labeling, bias checks, these are incredibly scarce and valuable right now. And 3, stack your domain expertise. Pair your tech skills with deep industry knowledge. In this kind of economy, generalists get cut first. You have to specialize.
So let's bring it all home. When you strip away all the noise, all the political theater, what's the actual bottom line?
The simple slogans are just wrong. The reality is a collision, a demand cooldown colliding with cost shocks and supercharged automation. And a perfect storm like this, it doesn't just trim the fat, it exposes every single weakness in the system, from bad processes to shallow business models.
The slogans are easy.
facing reality is hard. But that is how you survive this cycle and position yourself to lead in the next one. So the only question left is, are you ready for it?